People come from all walks of life. They all have lives they lead. Any and all are welcome here to come and chat with me.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. Well, I'm really pleased to welcome back to the show. I think she's been on here twice before. My daughter, Jennifer Hayes.
Hi.
What did you put up there? Was it 2 or 3?
I said 3.
Times, 3 times.
This is number 3.
Here's the 4th time. Cool. So this time you're going to talk about being a single parent and then being on assistance, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's go back. How old were you when you got pregnant?
I was 24 when I had my child, and at first it was a great relationship. He was working and we had been together for almost 2 years, so looked like a good thing. And shortly after she was born, he lost his job and he never started looking for another one. And I got tired of living that lifestyle, so I told him, you need to leave. And my daughter was 5 years old at the time, and so financially it was rough, but it was always rough before that too, because he didn't work. So I scrounged around working minimum wage jobs. I even delivered Sears catalogs, doing everything I could do just to try and make ends meet. And eventually realized that I needed to go back to school, because minimum wage, you can't live on minimum wage. So I decided to go back to school and to become a care aide and a support worker. And but then the dilemma was, how do I afford this? So I had to get a student loan, and I applied to live in subsidized housing.
Right.
And when I explained my situation, told them the classes that I was taking. Also, the little house I was renting was scheduled to be torn down within 3 months. So they kind of put me on a fast track, and thankfully I got into subsidized housing almost right away, which is almost unheard of. So I was very lucky for that. And I lived in subsidized housing for about 5 years. Mm-hmm. I am a huge supporter of subsidized housing. I don't know what it's like in Chilliwack, but in Penticton, there's a debate about it. I am a huge supporter. Without subsidized housing, I would not be where I am today. Right. What it allowed me to do is, the first year that I lived there, I was going to school and living on a student loan and working part-time minimum wage job. So therefore my income was next to nothing. So therefore my rent was next to nothing. So it was a lifesaver. So It allowed me to go to school, of course. Then the following year, my course was the year long. The following year I started working, and then your rent it changes to your current situation. Mm-hmm. So I was working, trying to get my foot in the door at a couple different places. And so my rent went up a little bit because I was making a little bit more. And each year I would make a little bit more, so my rent would go up a little bit more. And then one day I was making decent money, and I thought, oh, for what I am paying to live in subsidized housing, I got to get out of here. So I moved out, and that's what subsidized housing is supposed to be for to help people get on their feet when you have no other choice. Right. And it helps you get off the system. So in reality, yes, you have to stay on the system for a while in order to get off, but it's a great system to have.
Yeah. Would you see any changes? One of the things I'm thinking about is, because you said you had to get a student loan.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're working.
Mm-hmm.
Your rent is going up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to start making payments. Mm-hmm. For the student loan.
They don't really take that into consideration, unfortunately. Yeah, that is a downside, especially because, once again, it is all government related. So on the one hand, the government wants their student loan money, but then on the other hand, they also want to raise your rent and get. So that is sort of tricky one there too.
Yeah, yeah. How were you treated when you were in subsidized housing? Now you had to go and apply for that. How were you treated?
Um, it's kind of almost a funny story, because when I moved into subsidized housing, I applied for it, and they were wonderful. Like, I thought they were really supportive. Wonderful organization. They didn't make me feel, obviously I was embarrassed, and you feel like you're, a loser in life. And they were kind, supportive, non-judgmental. And then when I had to do my practicum, I ended up doing my practicum for the same company that was running the subsidized housing that I was living in. So I was like, okay, I'm doing my practicum and I'm living in your housing. And then I ended up getting a job there too. So it is a great organization. But there were, even to this day, funny story, I was at work, and I'm way off the system now. I'm like doing better than I ever thought I would do financially. And a couple of my coworkers were talking about, oh, don't park your bike over there, because that's where the subsidized housing is. And, those people will just steal your bikes. And I said, hey, I lived there for 5 years and I wouldn't steal your bike. Yeah. And we all kind of laughed, and they kind of looked at me like they couldn't believe that I was somebody who lived in subsidized housing. Yeah. Like it was a bad thing or something, but it's not. It's a good program. It helps people get ahead in life. That being said, there are people that abuse the system, but there are people that abuse every system that's in place. So
yeah, for sure. Well, one of the reasons why I asked why you were treated is because I've heard sometimes that people are not well treated.
There were a lot of residents in the subsidized housing where I live that were always complaining about, oh, they don't care about us, they don't do that, da, 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 da. Well, these unfortunately were the same people that weren't doing anything to get ahead with their lives. Right. So sometimes you have to take things with a grain of salt, or just kind of figure out where it's coming from. Yeah. But for me, it was a good experience. I had no problems, but then I always paid my rent. I was clean. I was quiet. My kid was under control. So maybe I was just a model tenant.
Yeah, you were probably a little different from a lot of them, I would think, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like I always laugh too when I lived there. I used to always say, well, I didn't move in here to make friends. But that being said, I did make a few friends, other people who were in similar situations like me, down on their luck, needed some help to get back on their feet. And so I did make some friends there, but in general, no.
Well, let's face it, Jennifer, you're a very social person.
I try.
A friendly social person, so I can't see you not making friends wherever you're living,
Yeah.
I would think that would be tough to do that, right?
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I've interviewed somebody who was talking about trying to push for affordable housing, which would make a big difference, right? What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Like I lucked out. Like I own my own place right now. I mean, it's nothing fancy. It was the cheapest condo I could find, but I bought it about 8 years ago. But when you see real estate prices, it's insane. And I have no idea how anybody, even my generation, forget about the younger ones, they don't have a hope. Like I honestly, I don't understand. I think basically, unfortunately, people wait for their parents to pass. And if their parents have property, that is how they inherit the money to buy their own, because otherwise I don't know. But like I said too, I don't know the situation in Sherlock, but in Penticton we do have a lot of homeless shelters, and which falls into the social housing, and it's always under controversy, but
right. No, we have the same thing. Yeah, I think
people need a roof over their head too. And if you close down the homeless shelters, these people are still homeless. Yeah. And now they're going to sleep in your backyard or your alley or under your porch. So once again, I guess I'm a supporter of all types of subsidized, affordable
Yeah.
homeless shelters.
One thing I just want to say about homeless people, I have no problem with anybody. Well, I don't have I live in a condo, so obviously I don't have control about what's being said or done. I have no problem with anybody sleeping on the property. What I have a problem is those that leave a mess behind.
Yes.
Clean
Yes.
up after yourself.
We have that out in Penticton too. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, because those
Definitely
people,
a problem.
yeah, and they make it bad for everybody because everybody tends to be lumped in the same way, right?
Yeah. I have one other thing too with the election that just happened, and without going into too much political conversation, there is a party out there that I thought I want to just kind of learn more about them. And I was absolutely disgusted. On their homepage, it states that they would eliminate all social housing because the government should not build housing for people to live in. And I was disgusted and I got mad because if you eliminate social housing, where would I be today?
Yeah.
I might be homeless. I'd probably still be on minimum wage or welfare, or I never would have gotten off the system had it not have been for subsidized housing.
Yeah.
So when I saw this web page, I was just disgusted. And then I read a few more things too. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I turned off my computer.
Good idea. Good idea.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I know you have a daughter.
Yep.
Is she living on her own? Like, I'm just wondering what she does for her.
She's very, maybe because she watched me be very strong and independent and work my butt off, but she is the same way. She had her same job since she was 16 and she's 24 now. And she moved out when she was about 20. She's had roommates on and off. Yeah, she just finds ways to make it work. But yes, she works minimum wage, but she works overtime and picks up extra shifts, and I mean, doesn't have a lot of downtime because she needs to work just to pay rent, just to make ends meet. So it's tough. But and I always tell her she can move back home with me, but no, she doesn't want to. And I know.
I just want to say, I think, and I'm sure you know this, I think she's so marvelously quirky, and I love that.
Oh yes.
She said that she learned that from me, but I don't know how.
No, she often says, she always loves, like, when she sees you on social media and stuff, she just loves it. She says, it's hilarious. That's where I get it from him. Maybe.
But it's nice to know having her at the time when you did and what you went through, to see what you learned. How do I want to say that now? But instilled in her all the good values.
Yes, trust
right?
me, she never calls in sick. She never misses a shift. And people who say, oh, this generation, they just don't know how to work. Well, I'm calling BS on that, because my kid works her butt off, and I know a lot of her friends that do the same thing. It's just hard to make things meet when you're making like $15 an hour.
Yeah,
it's hard. So
yeah, absolutely. And it's not getting any easier. That's the worst part of it, right?
No, I know.
Because I don't know how much you get when you're on assistance in Penticton. I don't know if it's the same right across BC, but it's pretty low.
Yeah, it doesn't cover even half of an average rent. Like, in order for you to, if you are on welfare, you're going to have at least 3 roommates just to rent a tiny, like, 2-bedroom apartment. And you're still going to be starving, and you're not going to have cable or Wi-Fi. Like, it's tough. And once again, for all the people are just lazy and they don't want to work. Well, some of them are, but financially, welfare does not provide you with enough to even have a normal life. So that would be the choice people are making.
Right. Now, I want to ask a question. Why do you think young girls are still getting pregnant? Because there's condoms, there's birth control is available, the knowledge. I think they get it in school.
Yeah. I think it's an escape. It's okay, now I don't have to be forced to work now. But even as a single mother on welfare, and I know this because I was on and off the system, you don't have enough money. You can't if you choose to feed your kid and clothe your kid and put your kid in swimming lessons, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that doesn't leave you any money for a cell phone or a vehicle or, other things that today are more or less necessities. So it's not an answer, but I think teenage girls think it is, but it's not.
It's interesting because you're saying not being able to afford a cell phone. I see so many homeless people with cell phones.
Yeah, well, because they're not paying the rent, so they got a cell phone instead. That's what it is.
Where are they getting the money?
Well, a lot of them collect disability, which is a little more than welfare, but not much. Still, even if you're collecting disability, it doesn't give you enough to live anywhere nice.
But I thought you had to have an address
for a cell phone.
No, to get assistance, to get money from the government. I thought you had to have
that. I don't know, because I have always had an address.
I'm just curious. I was just curious about it. By the way, I'm a little distracted because I was having problems with my TV my cable box stopped working.
Oh.
Tuesday. So they came. When did they come? No, it wasn't Tuesday. It was Saturday, stopped working. Tuesday they came and they replaced the box. Okay.
Yeah.
And it worked all Tuesday and all day Wednesday. Then yesterday it stopped working.
Oh.
Okay. So they came today, put a new one. Well, it's a refurbished one, but I can hear all this clicking.
Oh,
oh my gosh.
Well, I thought I was a little distracted because I'm sitting in my backyard. So
I was thinking about that. That's so nice, though.
That's Penticton living.
Yeah, that's one thing about it. That's really right. And I remember when Jessica was young, there was places where you could go swimming and right.
Yeah, just 5 minutes up the road or 5 minutes down the other direction.
Yeah,
those were located right in between the two lakes, which again, leading to this homeless population. A lot of them choose to live out here because of weather-wise. I mean, you can live outside here like 7-8 months out of the year comfortably. So
you think you'll stay there?
Yes, I love the Okanagan, and my job that I have now, I can't imagine I would ever leave it. So
just remind everybody what you do.
Right now, I just started last month. I am the program manager for WJS in Penticton. So I run a group home for individuals with developmental disabilities. And I also oversee, we have a children in care program. So we have 7 children that are in foster care. And I oversee the care homes that take care of these children. And WJS is known to support some more of the difficult individuals. So these care providers that are caring for these children are absolutely amazing people with huge hearts, non-judgmental. They give all their heart, and in exchange, they get their stuff stolen, they get beat up, sworn at, cursed, and they just keep doing it because they care and they're hoping to make a difference in these child's lives. And so that's a really exciting program that I get to be a part of too. So
okay. So what do you do? Okay. What is your part of that? Like, do you go in and check the homes or?
I have a quality analyst who goes inside and checks the homes. I can too, if I want to. We monitor, because they're children, we monitor their homes once a month. Whole bunch of paper reports to fill out. I'm kind of more of the office behind the scenes person. So, getting their invoices so they can get paid and things like that. But I also assist them with questions if they have, or if they just need somebody to vent to, I listen to them and try and provide support or different things that they can try. So it's fun.
Yeah, it's cool. I like the fact that you like your job.
I do. I love my job, and I'm thankful for that. I don't know how many people in the world could say that.
So not everybody does, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think we're out of time, Jennifer. Just stay on camera. Okay, I'll say goodbye to the audience. Okay, everybody. I hope you enjoyed hearing my fabulous stepdaughter. We get along really well. It's so nice, because that doesn't work for everybody. But well, we're mature adults. Well, some of us are mature. Maybe Jennifer is. I don't know. Anyway, hope to see you again, and peace out, everybody.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's a place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's a place to be, you'll see.